New introduction here. I want to get everybody's attention for what I feel will be a lucrative opportunity. It's the first ever NYSE marijuana IPO. We're making history here, and I feel this is just the first stepping stone in what is going to be the start of many IPOs on both the NASDAQ and the NYSE. I feel we're going to have a marijuana sector and marijuana ETFs in the future, and this is just step number one. If you are familiar with the industry, that's all I have to say. I know you're interested already. If this is new to you, this is going to be, in my opinion, the greatest financial opportunity in our lifetimes. This has never happened before. We have an established tens of billions dollar industry that the floodgates are going to open. It's becoming more and more legitimate legally, and this is just step number one. So Innovative Industrial Properties is the company. The ticker is IIPR. It is a real estate REIT that invests in medical marijuana facilities. And for this IPO, we have a new website, www.mjipo.com. I put together an hour of research video going through the filings, researching the company and the executives, and establishing a game plan, looking at some other IPOs and how they have traded. We're going to have a chat room with live Q&A during that day, Tuesday, November 22nd. And we'll also have the live webcam where I'll be showing our charts, going over, pointing out key support and resistance levels, looking at the volume that's coming in. I'm really looking forward to this opportunity. I hope you will join us. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into the charts. Hello, everyone. Looking in at gold, daily, weekly, shorter-term time frames. So we were anticipating a short-term bounce in gold if the correlation stayed the same because we were looking for a pullback in SPY, and that inverse correlation between the markets and gold has been very strong recently. On Friday, that correlation changed. We did get the pullback in SPY we were looking for, but gold absolutely dumped, and all that did was magnify the bear miners significantly, putting them into breakout mode. So this is a big-time setback for the gold bulls. Obviously, big volume. Last week, or make that on Thursday, we had just under 400,000, and then we had 420,000 on Friday, breaking the low of the dump. This is where it gets really serious for the bulls, losing that support down at 1258. As soon as that level is lost, we now have lower highs and lower lows, and we're heading down to 1200. That's the next key support, and that is an essential level to hold for the bulls. If we lose 1200, this weekly uptrend in all of 2016 is going to be in question. So that is a big red flag for the bulls. Look at that bear volume this week. Highest weekly volume we've seen in years. So bears are in full control of gold. Let's look at where the signals were on the hourly time frame on Friday. So when we started the day, pre-market, I was live and pointing out the weakness in SPY and looking for the bulls to break this lower high pattern. We had highs at 1265.23, 1264.71, and we were right here at just before 9 a.m., and we were looking for a break of 1265.23 to show the bulls breaking that lower high pattern and give some confidence in a short-term bounce. Obviously, that did not happen. As soon as we broke this low of 1252.19, it was an all-out dump, no support in sight, and we were red for the next 5 hours. And we put it on the 4-hour chart here and zoom out, and we have the low of the dump down here at 1241, different levels with Stockcharts.com here and in TradingView. But it's the low of the dump down at 1241, and as soon as that level broke, it was all bears in control and a big-time dump. So this is where stop loss triggered for any bull miners, any gold bull plays. Any stop loss should have absolutely been below the low of this dump because there is very little support after that level. Let's look at the weekly time frame here. So as soon as we broke that low of 1241, bears in full control, and we're looking at 1200 as the next clear support level. So there was a $40 downside potential as soon as that support broke, and it looks like we're certainly heading down to that level. So there will be oversold bounces on the way. The hourly RSI finished very weak. It's still under 30. The 4-hour RSI is down just under 30 as well. So short-term bounces, but every bounce is going to be anticipated to be a lower high and then a lower low. As long as the market stays strong, the S&P 500 had big-time bull volume this week. You cannot ignore that volume. Regardless of what you think of President Trump and what's going to happen with the economy and all that, you have to live by the charts with unbiased information, and the volume is very telling and favors the bulls. Dollar is also very strong. We're seeing oil, natural gas, and gold all very weak. The commodities are weak as the dollar is very strong. And if we see the dollar head up towards $100, it's going to be the highest we've seen the dollar in just about a year. So significant downside for gold, looking towards 1200 support. And if that breaks, very big setback for the bulls in the long term. This is a setback for the bulls in the midterm. Let's look at these bear miners completely break out over the past few days. The close for JDST over 30 was what the bulls were looking for. How about that follow through? Huge volume, breakout, big time gains to the upside. We're looking at, what, 25% on Friday? Full on breakout mode. The bulls will look to hold the upper Bollinger Band and remain in control on any consolidation. Weekly time frame above the upper Bollinger Band. Highest volume we've seen in years on JDST this week. And the trend continues. Higher lows and higher highs turning around. The oversold bounce is playing out now for a few months, and the bulls are in control of the midterm. We look at these bear miners, the bull miners, they gave a bit of a heads up for this weakness. We saw NUGT close below the low that we had seen. There's your lower high and lower low, and then an all-out dump, and JNUG was the same thing. Losing that support was the big red flag. As soon as that was lost on Thursday, we knew the bears were very strong, and it just followed through to the downside on Friday in a big way. So bear miners is the play to be looking. If you're playing bull miners, it's just for short-term oversold bounce in and out very quickly, as the midterm trend absolutely favors the bears at this point. So I appreciate you watching. We'll keep checking in as always. Keep an eye on that dollar and other commodities. That's definitely a factor here as well. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. See you soon.